Well, slowly, hopefully, surely, the headlines are changing. The other day we saw one going till the 21st of June, and now everything's like, they're lightening up with the levels now because the levels are downgrading. But most of the world is not in a lockdown. America isn't. Most of Australia is. Just the odd state there. China isn't. There's many places that are getting back together and getting on with things. Our economy is plundering, and he's only at this stage. What do you make of it, James?
Well, it's they can't keep this going much longer because we're going into warmer weather, and
yeah, people have forgotten that
this non-cellular thing, by its definition, it's not a bacteria which is cellular, but this other thing can't survive. It needs a living surface to be on, and if you get colds or flus and you get your body temperature up to, I think it's 102 Fahrenheit, you just sweat it out.
Look at the headline, James. Look at the headline. The first
it's
words.
just to keep the fear going, isn't it?
Do you know what? Anyway, I can't talk about it because YouTube are like military police.
You just have to say it in a very subtle way around things.
Well, it's seriously got like spring-like in the UK at the moment.
It's beautiful out there.
I mean, it could snow next week. You know, our weather changes.
Yeah,
but
four seasons
right
in one
now
day.
we can hear birdies singing. The sun's been out. There's that air. James has been in the garden doing my garden again. Thank you, James.
It's been fun. It's been such nice weather out there. Blue skies, sunshine.
He's tidied up nearly. Well, my back garden's basically done. Well done, James. So we're all feeling a bit more a step in the air, and we're only at this stage with the.
It's like an orchestra in nature where everything's sort of coming back to life. Everything's starting to go green and flowers are starting to appear. You've got a daffodil in the garden. It's wonderful. So it's better than looking at that shit and their fear story.
Yeah, but James is a different person on YouTube to me, but I always look at every now and again the headlines. I don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
I like to know what's going on.
Just keep an eye on
I copied the headlines a lot to show people the drumming they were doing to us.
Yeah.
And that made me feel depressed, so I'm glad I managed to get that off my computer.
That's what it's designed to do. I mean, they're misleading anyway. They talk about cuts in. Well, they don't talk about the cuts in the hospital beds, but they talk about percentages of beds.
Well, they talk about what they want to talk about.
Yeah, but I mean,
and YouTube promotes it.
The NHS Trust is a business in sickness. It is floated on the stock exchange, along with all the police services of the UK. They're corporations. They're not what they appear to be.
They're businesses.
Yeah, and this is a business that deals in sickness.
I don't think the police or the health should be a business.
Well, it makes you question the whole thing when
because
you
now
find
the police officers are just like security guards, and they don't even know what their oaths are.
It's worse than that. I mean, you've got Devon and Cornwall police services giving money to the LGBT, whatever it is, charity, and it's like, well, is that not a misuse of public funds? That money surely was allocated for what the public think the police are for, but.
The health and the police, because they go to the people, should not be businesses.
It's just looking at the wording. They used to be police constables. They're now police officers because they are officers
and
of
also,
a
some of them are
corporation.
just, they walk around the streets. They're not officers. They are officers, but they're not the same as if you're working in a police station. You know, they're different. They're community officers.
Community officers, yeah. It appeals to the people who like wearing fancy dress and feeling important.
Yeah. But
pay no attention to them.
The levels have lowered, James. Oh.
Well, just put a white shirt on, black tie and black epaulets and a checkerboard round your hat.
I know, James, with the gas man that came round, that he was actually very depressed because he believed that two of his friends had died from it, and he was very depressed.
This is it's that keyword belief again.
And depression.
Things will only keep going while people believe in things. So.
And when they do, they've got every excuse under the sun. We know someone that's supposed to wait in a room there and sit in that room and wipe anything he touches. So they've got any excuse for everything.
It does make me laugh with some of the narratives about opticians wiping everything, and well, shouldn't they have been doing that anyway in the matter of just general hygiene? But I've never seen so many sparkly cash point machines.
But what people forget is that however old this civilization is, because none of us know anymore whether we come from Tartaria or giants or whatever, but we got here.
Yeah. we got this far, so not long now.
Anyway, with what Boris Johnson's dad wants, which is to depopulate us down to about 15, 20, maximum 25,000 million from 66 million, which means if you take the lower level, 50 odd million people have to disappear. You think that they wouldn't mind this ravaging around, would you? Because then they get the number they wanted. At
the absolute minimum, he's advocating a reduction of 25 million, which you can't do through...
No, more than that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying his max, he said, to quote him, he said 20 to 25 million maximum, but ideally he wants 10 to 15 million.
Yeah.
It's the UK population, which currently stands, according to, when you do a Google search, 66.65 million. So do the maths on that one.
What it is, 1 second. James, very quickly explain this video. What happened?
This is the one, you can find it on the Guardian newspaper YouTube channel in an 8-minute and a 28-minute version. I recommend listening to the 28-minute version, but
a few minutes in
the interests of free speech, the Guardian claimed a copyright infringement when it's sharing information such as the world we live in today. This Orwellian censorship, electronic book burning, shall we say? But it's a shame because you've got this Stanley Johnson, father of Boris Johnson, advocating basically human genocide when it comes down to it. I mean, how would you get from 66 down to 15 million, even allowing for the elderly dying off? Is he suggesting that you sterilise people so they can't have any more children? Because
even
how
though
else?
He had 6.
Yeah, and of course he had 6 children himself, so he's a hypocrite
then
and a
what we found was,
liar.
James, didn't we? We found that, here it is. Oh, missed it. Where are you? Back here somewhere. When you want it, that we realised that he's talking about 70 million in 2012, but in 2019 it says 66.6.
You could argue
so
that he's rounded it up, but it's closer.
Down.
It's closer to. You'd think he'd say would have said 65 or 67 million if he wants to round figures up. But notice it's 2019. It doesn't give you the figures for 2020 in the UK for some reason.
We looked up the figures, but the strange thing is, 7 years earlier it was at 70 million, and then in what's that?
It's come down. It's come down by 3.5 million.
Yeah, and that's before we've hit this thing.
Well, 3. We'll round it down, just given the benefit of the doubt. He's rounding up to 70 million, so it's still come down by about 3 million in 7 years, but to reduce down by a further 51 million.
And you know what? They're not including all those people that come over on the ships and are hiding here without passports.
Yeah. Well, that probably does take it back up to 70 million. So, at a rough guess, but who knows?
You don't think they're trying to catch them, do you?
I think they're trying to. There seems to be a systematic culling of people who are no longer useful to the system, those that aren't earning and paying taxes, anybody that's disabled, they seem to want to get rid of by the looks of it.
Yeah,
that's the impression they certainly give anyway. And then when you get people like this advocating population reductions.
I did it under one of these things somewhere where I talk about, that's the end of the video. Oh, it's there, I think. That one.
Oh, the man with the dot over the third eye. I mean, that's all deliberate, I'm sure.
Let's get onto this bit. Come on, video. Oh, look at that. It's gone. I've lost it. There it is. Ooh. When you want it, you can't forget it. Oh, my goodness.
Trying to freeze it on the exact frame is not going to be easy.
Here it comes. That did. We did it. Phew. So in 2012 he says there's 70 million, and in 2019 they say there's 66 million.
Yeah. But I'd refer anyone to look at the date of that, just to reiterate it again, look at the date of the Guardian
just
publication.
Say there's 66 million, and he wants it down to 25, 35, 45, 55, 60. That's 40 million have to disappear.
Yeah. Still 40 million. to get it down at the lowest number for his ideal, for his decent numbers, as he calls it.
Maybe that's why there's all these houses here, James, because they did it before. They got rid of most of the population.
Looks
and then
that way,
we
doesn't it?
built up again. And that's why we could find the houses.
Well, I should think their biggest
There were so many houses, we had to fill them up in the end.
Their biggest fear is the sheer numbers of people, which, what they tell us there are.
What gives them the right to talk about us like that?
Because humanity has been fooled to giving them power. So, I mean, it's ridiculous that people have been protesting and saying, please let us go back to work. It's basically saying that you'll want to stand under their authority, which we don't.
No. Do you think anything else to say, James?
That's it really for this.
I was just looking at the headlines and those stupid headlines.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, James.
Okay, you're welcome.